The distress beacon had been broadcasting from the Theta Centauri system for 6 months. Every major power in the galaxy had received the transmission, analyzed it, and ultimately ignored it. The message was always the same, transmitted in broken galactic standard. Please help. Star dying. Children scared. Food gone. Anyone, please. Ambassador Krelvash of the Galactic Council reviewed the case file with clinical detachment. The Alani, he read aloud to his aide. Population, approximately 3 million. Technological level, pre-industrial. Military capacity, none. Strategic value, negligible. What about their planet, sir? The aide inquired. Theta Centauri Prime is entering its red giant phase. The star will expand within the next 50 years, rendering the system uninhabitable. Any evacuation effort would be a complete loss of resources with no return on investment. The aide nodded. The hegemony reached the same conclusion, as did the Trade Federation and the Dominion. No one wants to waste ships and resources on a dying world. Understandable. File it under natural disasters, no action required. But someone was listening. Captain Maria Santos received the distress call aboard the human exploration vessel New Horizon. Unlike the major powers, humanity didn't have vast fleets or unlimited resources. They were still newcomers to galactic politics, often dismissed as naive idealists by the established civilizations. Captain, her communications officer reported, we're receiving a distress signal from Theta Centauri. It's been broadcasting for months. Any response from the Council? Negative. The file is marked as economically non-viable. All major powers have declined to assist. Captain Santos stared at the tactical display showing their small fleet. 12 ships, barely enough for a minor exploration mission, let alone a planetary evacuation. Ma'am, her first officer asked. Orders? Indeed. Your species' attachment to offspring creates predictable behavioral patterns That's what's so interesting, Elena interrupted softly. You've been so focused on studying our emotions that you never considered yours. Valiant X tilted his head. I fail to understand. Dominion psychology is well documented. We have evolved past the inefficiency of... Doctor, what's your greatest fear? The question hung in the air like a blade. Valiant X felt an unfamiliar tightness in his chest chambers. I don't have fears, he said automatically. Fear is an evolutionary disadvantage Everyone has fears, Doctor. Even species that think they've evolved past them. Elena leaned forward slightly. Would you like to know what I've learned about Dominion psychology over the past 3 years? Something in her tone made Valiant X's skin prickle. What do you mean? I mean that while you were studying me, I was studying you. Elena's smile widened. Did you know that you check the lab security systems exactly 17 times each night? Or that you haven't slept more than 3 hours consecutively since my daughter and I arrived? That's standard security protocol. Is it standard protocol to research the breeding cycles of Earth spiders at 3 a.m.? Or to compile detailed files on human serial killers? Elena pulled out a small data pad. Somehow she had accessed the station systems. Timothy Dahmer, Edmund Kemper, Aileen Wuornos. You've been reading about them obsessively. Dr. Valiant X felt his respiratory system constricting. How had she? You see, Doctor, you made one crucial error in your research methodology. Elena stood slowly, and Valiant X found himself unable to move. You assumed that because I was your prisoner, I was also your victim. Guards! Valiant X tried to call out, but his voice came out as a whisper. They can't hear you. I've been modifying the station's systems for months. Elena walked around the table with predatory grace. Dr. Elena Vasquez, by the way. Xenopsychology, with a specialty in interspecies behavioral manipulation. The humans didn't send you a random refugee, Doctor. They sent you me. Impossible, he gasped. Our intelligence said exactly what I wanted them to say. Elena knelt beside his chair, her voice dropping to a whisper. Now, let me tell you what I learned about Dominion fear responses during my 3 years here. You're terrified of contamination, which is why you've been sterilizing everything 17 times. You're afraid of chaos, which is why you've been studying human killers. And most importantly, She leaned close to his auditory canal. You're absolutely paralyzed by the thought of being studied the way you've studied others. Dr. Vallanix tried to speak, but found only silence. My daughter isn't sleeping, doctor. She's been recording every conversation, cataloging every one of your behavioral tics, documenting your psychological profile with the same clinical detachment you showed us. Elena straightened up. Congratulations. You're about to become the first comprehensive study on Dominion emotional vulnerability. As Elena walked toward the door, Dr. Vallanix finally found his voice. What do you want? She paused at the threshold. I want you to remember something, Doctor. When you study monsters, make sure you don't become one. Because if you do, her final smile was pure predator. We study monsters too. The door sealed behind her, leaving Dr. Vallanix alone with the terrifying realization that for 3 years, he had been the one in the cage.